It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias Podcast with Lydell Dinero and Hugo Twilight.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Lydell Dinero, and we back for another episode of the Best of Bias Podcast. I know we took a week off. I know you guys didn't see me last week. You guys probably hella mad, but we back today. You had to take care of some stuff last week, but this week we back on and popping. And of course, we got a guest in the building, like I promised. The beautiful, the smart, the intelligent, the accomplished Chelsea Shuck. Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back. You ready to talk some bias today?
Always.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot to talk about. Of course, you know, my Nuggets is advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time ever. Swept somebody for the first time ever. So I'm going to get into all that. Will LeBron retire? He stole the headlines. We're trying to talk about retirement after the game. You know, a little swindler. John Morant. We haven't talked about John Morant since I've been off. So talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about Izzy Adesanyas. We'll get into relationships, too, because this core of this episode is about relationships. We got our relationship expert here, our resident relationship expert. So we're going to go into a bunch of stuff about relationships. So that's kind of the basis. No really pop culture or cinema corner today, but we'll hop into some stuff. How about that? But let me talk my shit. I'm going to talk my shit. So the Denver Nuggets, it's going to be a second right now because I'm about to go in. Denver Nuggets are in the goddamn finals, baby. I told you guys all goddamn season this shit was going to happen. Slowly but surely. Everybody had doubts in their mind. Everybody thought we was going to lose to Minnesota. Everybody thought we was going to lose to the Suns. Everybody thought we was going to lose to the Lakers. But hey, guess what? We swept them bitches. First time we ever swept anybody, and we swept the goddamn Lakers. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, the Magic Man, get up out of here, son. Got him contemplating retirement. You know what I'm saying? Jokic, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Bruce Brown, KCP, Christian Brown, Jeff Green, goes on and on and on. My boys was ready this year. We told everybody from January, from All-Star break, we was number one seed, and everybody was doubting. Nobody on the media still don't want to talk about us. But we here now, and you're going to have to. You know what I'm saying? 10 days rest until June 1st, until the final start, and let these Celtics and these Heat play for whatever. You know what I'm saying? That series was 3-0 as well. They tried to copy us, but they couldn't get it done with the sweep. They still playing to this day. Celtics about to win 2 games in a row. So we out here waiting to see who's going to win that series. But I'd be remiss if I didn't come here and talk all my shit and let y'all see my face and y'all stand in that shit. All you Lakers fans out there texting me Lakers in 6, Lakers in 5, all that bullshit. They didn't even win one game. Yet they hesitant. They always showing highlights of the Lakers and shit on TV like they did something. They didn't do shit. All the highlights are null and void. They didn't win any of those games that they're showing. So show some Nuggets highlights and talk about us. That's all I got to say about that. Let's move on and talk more about it as the final start. I'm not going to dwell too much, but hey, read my lips, baby. Finals. We're getting that trophy this year. I'm just calling it right now. Knock on wood. You feel me? Anyways.
Oh shit, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just had to do it. I had to do it because everybody was doubting out there.
Honestly, I don't blame you because you guys weren't part of any conversations. Like, there was a lot of Warriors-Lakers talk during that series. You guys were definitely overlooked for sure. I'll give you that.
Yeah, how'd you feel about the Lakers-Warriors series? I haven't talked to you since then. I know you're kind of disappointed how that went.
I mean, I'm upset, but I mean, at the end of the day, we could not get our shots in to save our lives. There was a lot of terrible shots being took.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. There's always next year, and just kind of
They didn't have a lot of size, so it's kind of hard for them to, compete with AD. They got to do whatever they wanted inside. If the Warriors weren't shooting well, it kind of lost them the game after a while since AD was able to do whatever he wants, kick it back out to players, have them shoot threes. Yeah. They won last year. You can't win every year, but I feel it. We got some payback for y'all, so I just want to see how you felt about that real quick.
I appreciate that, definitely.
Yeah, that was embarrassment. That's embarrassment. It's kind of crazy though because we don't talk much about the sweep because this man wanted to talk about retirement right after the game. I don't know if I'm going to come back after see what's going on and reassess my my options and da da da. He knows what he's doing, controlling the narrative, and it's just kind of
LeBron show. Don't get me started on LeBron. You know how I feel.
Yeah, I love LeBron, but come on, bro. Give us that, just take a loss. Just say you guys swept and move on. Let us talk about the Nuggets.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's just a little much for me. But I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he's just using his words to kind of influence the Lakers to get a whole bunch of players over there and have them help them compete last year. Because they made the Western Conference Finals with what they had this year. So I feel like they're feeling a little confident and they can come back with a little bit more adjustments. Maybe Kyrie Irving, maybe Fred VanVleet. and running back and maybe get a little further. But for now, fuck them. Hey, it's Denver Nuggets time. Whoever we're gonna play, whoever's gonna be. Celtics step up. Heat step up. Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, whoever it is, we running it. Jokic is going for that championship. You feel me? Again, the series for the Miami Heat and Celtics is 3-1 right now. Celtics won their last game at Miami, but they're playing in Boston right now, and they're up by 17 last that I saw. So they may get it to 3-2, but I think when they go back to Miami, that it's going to be over with, and Miami's going to win. And I think the Nuggets will play the Miami Heat in the next NBA Finals on June 1st. That's how I feel about that. But let's move on to John Morant, because we can't talk about basketball and not talk about the incidents with John Morant. I know you heard in the past where he was seen in a strip club in Denver flashing his gun on Instagram Live, and he got in trouble for the first one. And there was some incidents where he pulled guns on people in malls, shooting or pointing lasers at basketball teams after games. There's a whole bunch of nonsense going on with John Morant. I know you heard about that, right?
I definitely did.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you get in trouble once for it, then you run it back and get in trouble twice for it. It's kind of like you didn't learn your lesson, not gonna lie. But
yeah, how do you feel about him being suspended for a whole season potentially? He lost $49 million for not making the All-Pro team. He's losing money from endorsements. Nike might pull him.
I feel like it's a little bit excessive for sure, but also in a sense, after the first suspension, you knew what was going to happen after the fact, and you knew it was going to be worse than the first time. And my opinion, you might need to get yourself some better friends, ones that aren't record you and post it on social media, all like that. You know,
it seems like once the camera comes out, when the NBA young boy comes on, he just pulls out the gun. You know what I'm saying? His homeboy was just recording him for 1 second. Then he saw him pull out the gun and try to move it. But, you know, the internet's undefeated. They're going to catch it every time. Yeah, they got him in perfect pixels and put that online real quick. Now the commissioner's like, yeah, we talked to him once and we thought we had a heart-to-heart conversation to where he actually understood what was going on. But I guess not. So we're going to have to sit him down. And I think it's going to be a big suspension coming down for sure this time.
Definitely. I saw his public apology also. And then I did see a couple of things about people talking about it was AI generated.
Yeah.
Exact same thing. So you never know.
It's going to be kind of hard because people can catch on to that shit, especially when these stars are putting out generic ass apologies that people know aren't written yourself and his publicist written or some shit like that. You know, people want to know that he actually feels remorse for what he's doing and he's not going to continue to do what he's doing and being a bad influence for all the kids that look up to him. And I don't think he is capable of that right now. I think he really does need some life counseling. I mean, in regular people's eyes, you know, it's probably easy. Just put the guns down. You're making millions of dollars and, you know, you would think you know what to do, but shit, these young guys coming up playing the basketball world, they're so sheltered and they are so influenced by stuff they see on TV, stuff they hear on music that, you know, basketball coaches sometimes can be like, yeah, they can try to clone people and try to be just like people. And once you get money hella fast, hella young, you feel like you can do whatever you want to. I remember when I was 23. You feel me?
Far back?
What's up?
I said, you remember that far back?
Well, not really, but I can say it. You know what I'm saying? I know where I was, and I feel like I know what I was doing at that time. But yeah, I'm hoping that he gets it together and doesn't ruin his whole career because I got some friends that really like him. I got some people that really like him. So I like him too. It's just he needs to learn how to stay on the court, not get injured, and just stay away from the fucking NBA young boy, I guess. Listen to some other music.
True, and also realize that, like, you are in the public eye more than anything. It's really something you can't avoid at this point. So every action you do is going to be
right, especially when you want to be the biggest star as you are right now. So it's gonna get kind of crazy out there. Find some better people, you know, get you a girl, settle down, you know, relationships. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're moving smoothly into relationships. Let's talk about relationships. Good little transition there, Patrick. I know.
No,
Relationship transition king here. So let's start a little bit about something I heard. Actually, this is a little bit of pop culture here, I guess. 2 stories of pop culture before we get into relationships. Izzy Adesanya, I think he's a middleweight, middle heavy. I'm not too sure exactly what champion he is. He's a champion either way. One of my favorite fighters out there. He's in a situation right now where his girlfriend feels like she deserves half his money that he's earned in his career just because she was with him the whole time he was fighting. Not married or anything like that. And she just feels like she's owed some money for being there for him. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's lightweight, like the conversation we had before about like what women feel like they're entitled to. And realistically, you weren't in there fighting. You weren't in there doing none of that. Regardless if you were supporting a situation or not, you weren't the person behind that. So I don't believe, especially when you're not married, there's no
kids involved.
there's no kids involved, there's no legal standing in it. No, you're not entitled to nothing. The fact that you decided to hold it down for somebody throughout their career or whatever, and it didn't work out, it didn't work out. You kind of just got to take the L and keep it moving with that.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're entitled to no type of check just because of it.
Yeah. That's a wild story to me. Like, she wasn't really doing nothing. I haven't heard about her at all. I didn't even know you had a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
Exactly.
I don't think she was doing that much, because if she was doing the right thing, she'd be out there front facing everybody. Everybody know who she is. You know, he would rightfully just hold her down. But it just seems like now it's a money grab after a whole bunch of stories coming out and seeing people do that to other stars and stuff that are, taking money, like Tiger Woods' girlfriend, trying to get her to, trying to get him to pay her to leave or some shit like that. It's just people are.
I feel like everybody's just about the money nowadays. Like, a lot of people, like, if they see that you have some chance of success, a lot of women will just go for you.
Yeah.
I mean, not all women, obviously. I'm very much against stuff like that. I'm very much about my own money, but a lot of women feel like they're entitled to something. Like, it's not like she was sitting at home, stopped her whole career, took care, like, dropped everything to take care of their kids and the home and stuff like that. That, I think, is definitely a different story.
Right.
But as a girlfriend with no kids, no nothing, like, fine. No.
Yeah, you're just getting all the, the credibility of being his girlfriend now. You want that stardom. You want your name out there now. So I feel like you're just having this money grab to try to get, just what's the word? Clout chasey. Very, very clout chasey.
Agreed.
Yeah. Speaking of clout chasey, this man here has been in a lot of trouble. Speaking in relationships as well. Johnathan Majors. I don't know if we talked about Johnathan Majors on here with you. I think it was me and Damon. He has been alleged with, domestic violence against a couple of his ex-girlfriends. One most recently in a car on a cab on the way back to somewhere. His girl saw his text messages and she flipped out, grabbed his phone, and there was some violence involved. I don't know the exact story because evidence is still kind of coming out. And then there's other girls that were dating him as well that try to come out and have stories as well about what they did or what he did to her as well, or to them. It got really big. Evidence was coming out to kind of try to prove his innocence from his lawyers and his publicists, but after a while, stuff started falling out for him. His management team dropped him. He got dropped for some commercials, some movie ideas, and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, out of left field, he starts dating Megan Good, which is really interesting. Some people are saying that it's supposed to be clout chasey as far as letting people know that he stopped dating white women and he's dating black women now. And he's going back to that so he can get that kind of sympathy. And also as well as, just people trying to clean up his image for him and stuff like that. How do you feel about him going and dating somebody publicly in the midst of all this controversy?
I mean, realistically, I just feel like being tied to anybody that's in the midst of like a domestic violence, anything, like any type of, I feel like it's just messy in general. And even on Megan Good's side, like to have your name attached to somebody like that, whether you really like that person, whether you're really rocking with the person, or you believe in their innocence, I feel like one person crying wolf could be the case, but multiple people crying out about the same thing, I feel like there's some type of substance behind the situation. So I don't feel like it's a very good look in general.
Somebody over there hollering. But yeah, I feel it. Yeah. Yeah, Johnathan Majors, I don't know, man. It just seems like also that Megan Good's trying to play savior as well, trying to help her career as well, because I know she used to be the church girl, and now she is going to come up and clean up not the little black man, the black man that made the mistakes and make him look all good in the black community, and we'll jump behind him and support him. But I don't know, man. I'm still up in the air. Marvel's talking about recasting him. So there has to be some kind of truth to some of these statements. I don't want to go ahead and lambaster him and just say a whole bunch of shit about him and say it's true, because I don't know. And it hasn't really been proven. He's not in jail. He's out there freely dating Megan Good, which is kind of interesting to me as well, because I feel like if relationships are, if celebrities want to hide relationships, they really can. But the fact that this was spotted and put into the open at this time is kind of purposeful. In my eyes, you know what I mean?
It's very, even like if you're in the public eye like that, I feel like it is easy to hide a certain situation.
Yeah, because I mean, who knows how long they actually been dating? They could have been dating for a while, and this got out now, and it just kind of seems that way. But I don't know. It just seems kind of fishy, especially when he's in the midst of all this drama. And for her to want to get into that, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I guess she don't care about her career that much. Excuse me, because this can be like very iffy for her career, especially if he ends up putting his hands on her and then she ends up being another victim. I'm not victim blaming or nothing like that, but it is a risky situation she is getting into potentially. And it's interesting that she would want to jump into something like that. You feel me? Speaking of jumping into relationships, moving on a little bit here.
All right.
All right. So how do you feel? Okay, we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty of this relationship talk. I'm gonna throw some random topics at you, and we're gonna get how you feel because you are again our resident relationship expert. We got a lot of guys out there again that are looking for girls or single who want to know what girls are looking for out there, what their mental is, what they think, what they like in guys, what they want them to smell like, what they want them to look like, what they want them to dress like. Even though I'm all about, guys, be you, be original, don't try to change for nobody. But I'm just saying, we got a female here who can give you guys some advice, who got a keen knowledge for this kind of things. So let me start off with this question.
Okay.
How do you feel about people seeking relationships only for the winter and just having straight single situationships throughout all the summer, just waiting for cuffing season to come? Do you think that's a good strategy or a bad strategy?
I think that's terrible. And I think it also says so much about how you feel about a person because if you really were rocking with somebody, you really like somebody or whatever, it don't matter that it's cold or it's hot. It don't matter that you want to come home and cuddle because it's cold or whatever, or you want to go out and turn up with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really rocking with somebody in a good way, I feel like it should be an all season situation. I mean, I have heard of people like intentionally trying to get single for the summer so they can go out and do what
City girl summer, so it's a hot boy summer.
Hot boy summer, city girl summer, all that. But like for me personally, I feel like that's not the way to move about it. Like you could be outside, and like when I say outside, I know some people mean like outside as far as like being with the dude or being with the woman or whatever. For me, like outside is like legitimately outside. Like I'm going to the beach with the kids or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you're really walking with somebody, then you should go ahead and be about that. I feel like somebody that's just trying to look for somebody to be with during the holiday season or whatever, that's somebody that just needs to stay single year round, in my personal opinion.
Absolutely. I feel like if you are avoiding a relationship over the financials, you definitely shouldn't want to be in a relationship in the first place. Work on you and do what you need to do to better yourself until you find that person. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting to me. It kind of makes me wonder how people be living in the summer. They just be going out there really just looking for shit to get into, just trying to count hella bodies up. And then when it gets down to summer or the winter time when nobody's outside, and it's excuse me, time to sit down and just cuddle up, watch some Netflix, and use all the energy up. That's when you want to date somebody. When it's time to get gifts and stuff like that, holiday season.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, all that. Like no.
Yeah, people do kind of try to avoid that as well. But it's kind of hard, it's a cycle for those kind of people that be with the shits like that. Oh, in the summer, I'm not going to date anybody. And then I'm going to date somebody for this specific time of winter. And then I'm going to get out before any of the holidays come up so I don't have to buy them some stuff. I don't understand those people, you know what I'm saying? Guys in particular, because, man, at a certain point, I mean, we're already sometimes looked at as dogs. So for you to have that mentality and just try to go about it and kind of explain it that way, it's kind of shady. I mean, I've never been that way, like I said, so it's kind of hard for me to understand it. I don't know if you've been with anybody that was like that, who felt like they are untamable until it's time for the winter to come.
Untamable. I mean, like, I wouldn't say that I've been with anybody like that. I mean, I know of people like that, and I feel like that's just really bad karma to put out into the world. I feel like you using somebody just to damn near stay warm at night during the cold season, don't want to pay for nothing during the holidays, and then during the summer you just want to go out with your boys. I feel like, or even in a girl situation, like you want to go out with your girls, I feel like that's just bad karma all around and shows how terrible of a person you are. Like character is terrible to be able to string somebody along like that and then just drop them the minute the holidays pop around and then pick them back up for a couple more rainy months and then drop them again during the summer. Like that's foul in my opinion.
Yeah, ghosting is kind of crazy. I don't think I've ever done that to anybody or could do that to anybody because I feel like I'm a nice person, but I feel like it happens out there and there's still shows about it, so I know it happens out there. People out there trying to be sneaky and get their shit off and just trying to come back and act like nothing ever happened. It's just kind of wild to me. And it's an interesting concept. And personally, that brings up my next question here. Does body count matter when coming or deciding to date a person? Do you want to know? Does it matter?
Okay, like, I mean, realistically, I guess, like, when I was younger, it might have been something that, like, I might have thought about whatever. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized like I don't ask, and it's also none of my business. Anything
Right.
that happened before me, anything that you did prior to me is not my business unless in our stage of talking or dating or whatever that stuff shows itself.
Right.
Like nobody's perfect, and at this point, we're in our early 30s. Like we've been out of high school for how like 15 years at this point. You know what I mean? And like everybody's idea of a high body count is different.
Yeah.
But I also don't feel like somebody's body count shows what type of person they are. I'm
True.
more about your personality, who you are as a person, your mindset, things like that. Everyone, in my personal opinion, goes through a whole stage at one point or another, like randomly dating type of situation, whatever, whether that's sexual or not. So I definitely don't think that body count matters, at least not to me. I know other people it does matter to, and I feel like it matters more, though, in my opinion, to men than it does to women. Men more so want to know. Women, at least in my experience, aren't too pressed about knowing. Like none of my friends are too pressed about knowing their significant other's exact body count, who it was, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't one of my 3 best friends or one of my family members or family friend, then I'm good. It's not my business. As long as it's not in my close circle,
immediate circle. Yeah.
After that, then I'm good to go. Like,
yeah. That's kind of where I'm at as well. I mean, as long as it's not a whole bunch of people that are in close proximity of me that I'm gonna see every day, and then like openly know that you've been hooking up with this person, and yeah, I know it's your ex or something like that, and how many times and all this bullshit, then it can get a little awkward. But to me, I personally, I don't share my body count. I don't ask my girl her body count. I don't think that's really important, especially at this phase in our life. When we met, we started with a clear slate, and we just kind of left it at that. You know what I mean? We trust each other. And everything that was done in the past was in the past. We've been together for like 5, almost 6 years. So yeah, all that shit don't really matter at this point in time. We both lived in Chico. We both lived that life. So it was wild times. But once we met each other, we was kind of locked in, and we just kind of left that alone. I knew about one person that my girl dated, and I saw him a lot in Chico, but I didn't think to ask anymore. It's just that me personally, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know. Mario Winans, not Weekend. Fuck that song. That remake of the exact same song and shit. The fuck.
It's as long as it's not like, as long as I'm not going to like my family party to like Thanksgiving or Christmas and you fucked with one of my cousin's best friends or something, like it's not like in my circle, it don't affect my life.
Right. Moving on. Dating with kids. Are you open to dating somebody that has kids? Is it something that you're opposed to? Do you love kids? What's going on?
I mean, I work with kids. I love kids. I have lots of godchildren. I am very much against dating somebody with kids, though. I have given that a shot previously. I'm not going to lie to nobody, but it just wasn't for me. Like the fact that like your baby mama's going to be in your life for the rest of your life, like obviously because you're a kid, or just the messiness of dating somebody with a kid. And obviously if you really rock with that person, you want to get to know their kid, you want to like be a part of that life. And then when stuff work out, for somebody like me who does love kids and I do take it very personal, it's too much of a messy emotional situation for me. Not so much like I could care less about the dude at that point, however that like shook out. It's more so that like I know I created a bond with a kid and the kid has nothing to do with what happened with me and the dad or whatever.
Exactly.
So
It's tricky.
I definitely avoid the situation. I mean, more power to people that are able to do it. It does take a whole lot of like being secure with yourself to be okay with that, to trust them around their baby mama, around their baby daddy, because I've seen that messy side of things too.
Yeah.
But just me personally, it's a no-go for me. It's a no here.
Yeah, I feel that. Is that Kylo's tail tapping? Or what is that?
No, it's definitely the fan.
Oh, it's all good. So anyways, for me personally, I don't know if I could do it, especially when it comes to age, man. When the baby's young, the baby dad's gonna be involved a lot. because the baby is newborn, is going to check up on who's around their baby or whatever like that. And also when it's a grown kid, it's also kind of awkward because they, again, like you said, they get attached. I'm a cool ass guy. What if they get hella attached to me and my video games and my Funko Pops? You know what I'm saying? And then he try to start opening up my shit, and then I kick him in the head. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Nah, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to disconnect, especially if the relationship doesn't go well, because there's relationships ups and downs, and if you want to take a break from that situation, it'll be kind of hard, especially when you made this bond with this kid, you know, and you're especially if you live in the same neighborhood, gonna see him around, see him growing up, especially if you spend a significant amount of time around the kid. It's a lot. And it's also, I mean, you got to be ready for that financially, because it's not only the girl. Sometimes you got to pay for the kid for birthdays and whatever it may be, just to get the girl's attention in order to, get the alone time. There's a lot of stuff that comes with it. I don't want to sound too shallow about it, but it just kind of seems a lot of extra baggage.
You have to be fully aware for that baggage for it to work.
Yeah.
Like, even if you said how it like seems shallow, I don't feel like it seems shallow, because personally, it's much. Like, it's, at least you're aware and conscious to know that that's not something you're looking for. I'd rather be straight up with it than lie about it, given I don't have kids, and that's for that reason alone. So
yeah. Especially in the beginning of relationships, man, because fighting for that attention is going to be way hard. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to make that first impression when you're battling with an adolescent kid or a teenager or a baby. Either way, it's just kind of hard. But I mean, big ups to everybody that's actually doing it. I know a lot of people out there who have tried it, who are doing it, who have blended families, and more power to you. But man, I don't know if I have the patience, the mind state, or the pockets for all that. So, man, good on y'all. Next, let's talk about love languages. Let's get into that real quick. We talked a little bit about this on a past podcast. I don't know exactly who it was. I think Jen was on. We talked about that. But what is your love language? What do you prefer? How do you like to be loved, I guess, spoken to, loved by your significant other? What's your love language?
For me, I would say that, like, the way that I show my love, or my love language, would be more so like cooking for my significant other, because we have talked on other podcasts. I'm very much into cooking. I do serve down in the kitchen. So like, if I cook for you, it's because I really do care for you. Just like being there for the person and taking care of that person is more so my love language. I'm not big on the material things. I don't need gifts. I don't need presents. Like, for me, the way that I want to be loved is, I want you to be able to communicate with me. I want you to be able to care what's going on in my life. I want to spend that time to actually bond, versus all this material, take me out, buy me stuff, whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me, so I'm more of a touch guy. I like to be held, people to let people know that they care about me. Just a little hug here and there, handshake, homies, what's up, homie? Bam, bam. Talk about my girl, yeah. A little hug, hold me while I'm watching TV, while I'm playing video games or something. A little kiss on the neck, you know what I'm saying, here and there. Let you know that you're there and you're not bored with what I'm doing, but at the same time, we good, you know what I'm saying? I just like, non-solicited grabs. Well, not nasty. We ain't talking about that yet. But I'm talking about just like, I love from behind hugs, the undercup. Like, somebody comes up from behind you, you don't even know. And those undercup hugs, I like those. A little hug and a little walk for a couple of seconds. I like those. I like the run up and grab when I'm on the bed, a little kiss on the cheek. Not too much. I'm not too needy.
Your love language is more affection,
Yeah.
which, like, I feel like is definitely normal and stuff like that, which is how I feel a lot of people feel loved and things like that. Me, it's like, there's so many people out there that, like, I think the reason for me that physical touch isn't that serious is because there's so many people out there that only care about, like, physicalness in a sense.
Yeah.
And so for me, if you're sitting here asking me a lot of questions, if you're over here like wondering about how my day went, I'm actually interested in how the way my mind works, I feel like that's way more attractive to me than physical touch. But
Okay. Since we're talking about physical touch, who do you think has more of a sex drive, women or men?
I feel like when we were younger, definitely men. It was definitely a man thing, whatever. I mean, you can Google it too. The older you get, women's sex drive does heighten a lot. So I would say that it is very far and few in between that I've met somebody that can keep up with that, I guess, sexually in general. A lot of people talk the talk but don't walk the walk kind of situation.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's very rare. I think the older men get, the more it's like you mess around, then all of a sudden they're too tired to go to the gym, they're too tired to get up and do anything, whatever. Me, I mess around, I'm able to get up and go to the
Bang,
gym.
bang. Shots fired. Shots
Yeah.
fired. Man, you got to get together out there. She's talking shit right now. So if you listen to this right now, and then afterwards you out there wobbly leg trying to go to sleep, take naps and shit, you better get up and go to the gym. You better do some push-ups or something. Wake your ass up, boy. Me personally, I don't know. I wouldn't know. Women's sex drive is confusing to me. Because, not all women are ready to, get to the nitty-gritty all the time. But when they are, the rounds kind of thing, I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I don't want to get too much into my personal relationship, but I kind of feel like round one, if it's good enough, then it's good enough. It's not that I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm still gonna watch TV and do something, roll over, talk on the phone, watch a cool little video. Still can get up and do whatever as long as I cool off and take a shower first because I'm a sweater. That's something with me. I sweat. I don't know why. It's a weird body function of mine. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So there's more so a cleanup after that I'm not very fond of, that we have to get ready and we have a little time before our second, that will go around or something like that. But I wouldn't attribute it to sex drive.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's not necessarily like the rounds. I like to let stuff flow the way that it's gonna flow. If there are multiple back-to-backs, that is what it is. If it's let's go to sleep for a little bit, wake up, hit round 2 in the morning type of situation, whatever the case may be, kind of vibe it out that way. But I think when I mean sex drive, I mean daily. Some people are cool, every week, every other week type of situation, which is all good and gravy for them. It just depends on the person, I guess, or how sexually attracted I am to the person, how often I end up being interested in going at it. So
if the person didn't want to have sex all the time, would that be a turn off automatically for you? If they didn't match your sex drive?
Not necessarily a turn off. I can work with it. But if you're over here once a month type of situation,
whoa,
then yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Once every 3 weeks is bad. Even once every other week is still bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is kind of weird. It kind of starts to question what's wrong. If that starts to be once a month, it's kind of wild.
What are you doing in your free extracurricular time?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more so that than it is it being a problem in itself.
Okay. Moving on a little bit here. Body size. Does body type matter to you? Are you a skinny fit guy type of person, or a chubby chaser kind of person? Does it matter? Do you love every size? What's going on?
I mean, I've tried to talk to people. I'm not shallow like that, of course. Which I guess a lot of people say. I do since I like to be fit or whatever. And I'm a smaller body type. I do prefer, we've talked about before, taller people, I guess. And also, we can't be walking down the street and you winded and shit like that.
Yeah.
Then I got an issue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm not asking you for having no 8-pack, nothing like that. But I mean, some type of definition is definitely nice. I have also tried talking to people that were a little bit bigger.
Huskier.
Yeah, huskier. Let me say it like that, so I don't hurt nobody's feelings.
Yeah.
A little bit huskier, and it just ended up being a situation where they were so confused that I was interested. I think which
made them insecure.
Yeah, they were insecure with me going out. Oh no, there's something going on. She's too pretty or whatever to actually like me, type of situation. And for me, it's I go for personality, I go for mindset, I go for things like that. I'm not shallow enough to just go for the way you look and things like that. So I would say it's a little bit of both. I lean more towards the athletic build, tall men. I do lean towards that.
Okay. I will get into mine right after this commercial break. I know I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger right there, but I will answer my side and a couple more spicy topics when we come back from the break. It is the Best of Bias podcast. We got our residential relationship expert here, Chelsea Shuck, and we'll be right back. 1 second. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess you guys can call this bonus content because I almost forgot. Last week I shouted out Cherry Joy and I was showing the pops that I had in my phone and not the actual screen. So if you guys are watching the podcast, you'll probably be like, well, what is he even showing? He didn't even show it in the screen correctly. So let me do that real quick. So let's start off with a couple. Of course, again, Cherry Joy exclusives from the homie on Whatnot. If you check him out on Instagram, he's called him and his wife. Excuse me. I keep giving him all the credit and not letting you know his wife is involved as well. They do great custom work here. Again, there's a bunch of glare, but this is Nami from One Piece. They take the top off the pop, introvert the boxes on the inside, and then add art to it. Check it out. If you guys know One Piece, this is Nami from One Piece. The art they do is super exclusive, one of one, and amazing. Let me show you some more stuff. Nightcrawler from X-Men. Ooh, you see him in there. This light is crazy right now. You see him in there. Let me spin it for you. Kurt Wagner from X-Men. What else we got? Let me not slow it down for you. Colossus, X-Men, another Cherry Joy exclusive, one of one. I have like 5 of these things now. You know what I'm saying? Looking to get more. If you guys are looking to get one, hop on Instagram, Cherry Joy Collective Collections, I think. They have a whole bunch and they, every night they on Whatnot selling these. Miles Morales, Cherry Joy. Winter suit. Balling out. What else we got? We got one more for y'all. Say the best for last. The Rock. So yeah, last time I was talking about him, but I was talking about him down here so you couldn't see it. But yeah, man, Cherry Joy exclusive. You don't get no Funko shadow, so you can see your pop. Well, not on mine because it's super glary on here. But yeah, my bad last time, y'all. I didn't get to show you guys my actual pops that I got customized. But yeah, again, I'm going to a convention soon. I'm gonna show you guys all my autographs I get. That's the next thing I want to show y'all. But shout out Cherry Joy, and you can add this in the extra in there, aka my bad. I forgot to mention it. I was so in the groove with the movie review, but yeah. Cherry Joy, shout out y'all, and I will be definitely coming back for more. And again, if you guys are looking for a Cherry Joy exclusive, hit them up on Instagram, Cherry Joy Collections. And if you're on Whatnot, Cherry Joy, they're on there every night around 9:30. So check it out. Check it out, check it out, check it out. It's your boy Lydell Dinero. We out of here. Sorry. One. And we back. It's your boy in the house, Lydell Dinero. We got Chelsea in the building. I was talking about my body type preference when it comes to a significant other or just somebody that I'm attracted to. Me personally, I'm not very picky. I'm more of a features guy. We'll get into that in a second, a little bit about features. But me personally, I like me a nice little bumper on the back. You feel me? I know it sounds kind of shallow, but if you can match a pretty face with a nice little bumper, I might be a little interested in you, and then we're gonna go. That's the precursor. We're gonna get in there. We're gonna check out the personality. Then we're gonna see everything else about you. I'm not gonna date somebody based on their body, but it's a good initiator because out here nowadays these BBL bodies the attitude and the personality don't mix with how they look on the outside, and we all know that. So I can't be go out there you being shallow about the stuff that I do, but I do have some angles that I look for when I do talk to a woman. You ain't got to be super skinny. You ain't got to be, I mean, I don't like, well, I'm not gonna say I don't like, but I'm not really attracted to the overly, plus size women. But if you have a good personality, hey, maybe we can hang out and we can do some little something. You know what I'm saying? I love my plus size women for sure, but I don't always go and look for them first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I don't know how to say it. It kind of sounds stupid already. I already am fucking myself up, but you know what I'm trying to say.
You go for, I mean, first and foremost, can anybody say that they're shallow? Because realistically, what you're attracted to is what you see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a certain situations, I guess, that happens to be where you be friends with somebody first, and then all of a sudden that progresses, and maybe you really like the personality. But majority of the time, the way that you're attracted to somebody is obviously by the way that they look. So everybody's shallow in the first part. So
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I don't judge. Once we start talking and stuff, when I get to know you, a lot of that stuff kind of falls out the window. That has been kind of the basis of me and how I date. I kind of go for, just people that I understand their personality at first. I don't know. I don't want to say that, but but I understand. Yeah, I I don't know. I kind of get into stuff based on first thought. I evaluate the situation, and if it's worth sticking around for, I'll stick around and try to build with that person. I'm a person that gets with somebody and stays with them for a long time.
Oh, we
I'm
know.
a, yeah, I'm not a frequent dater. I don't bounce around and stuff like that because that shit is too hard nowadays. So me, when I meet a person, I get my hooks in and try to hold them for as long as I can. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to get to know that person. I made those attributes my attributes. We become one person. And we mold into this love triangle that at all points are always together. Like that?
Love triangle. I feel like it'd be more like a line.
I don't know.
Triangle.
I just like the points.
Okay,
I don't know.
let's say a line because 2 point. Never mind.
So each point we're connected, and no matter what point we're at, we're on the same page. I don't know. I thought I tried to come up with something creative and sound cool and get myself out of a sticky situation.
You got it. You got it.
You know what I'm saying? But that's me on a platform. I'm not too picky, but if you can appease me with a good personality, I think that'll trump everything. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
But where it matters, I know I was talking about the little bumper. You know, ladies out there, does penis size matter? We always hear about this motion in the ocean shit. And I know it's bullshit. Ladies out there, Best of Bias listeners, I know you like, I know you like, Somebody tell me something. Chelsea, is penis size important when dating a person?
Realistically, I mean, if you look at it, you can Google this, whatever. Technically, you don't have to be big in that sense to really get stuff moving. So when people do say like it's about how you work it, not what you got, that's not a lie. But it helps.
It helps. Helps with what?
Like it just helps in general. Like this is gonna sound, oh my god, this is gonna sound so shallow to me, but I'm not messing with somebody with a little one. I'm not doing it. I'm
with small wood.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I'm not even gonna front. It is what it is. If you have a tiny penis, I can't do it.
Ooh, sorry guys.
Sorry, to each its own. Some girls, I mean, I know they be rocking with it or whatever. I'm not trying to sit there fake nothing. I'm not gonna fake moans, pretend like it's great when it's trash. Like that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna get out the situation and all of a sudden be like, you had a small dick in the first place. Like, bye. If I thought that in the first place, then I gotta go. I gotta explain in the situation. Like head game makes up for all that stuff or whatnot or whatever. But it's still like no one's asking you to have like a 12. Yeah, no one's asking you to have a whole log on you, but have something to work with. Yeah, it definitely does help in a situation, not gonna lie.
Yeah. So if they tell you that it's the motion in the ocean, fellas, they lying to you, man. Get you some pills, do some workouts, do whatever you need to do. You better get yourself right because they out here looking for the speedboats, not the little pintos. You feel me? Not the little pinto.
And you damn sure in the girl group chat if it's small.
Yeah.
Facts. You in the girl group chat for sure.
Yeah, and we don't have any kind of equivalent for men as far as that goes.
Yeah, I feel like some dudes are very much like only mess with girls with a huge ass or huge boobs.
That's true.
And some dudes do. Some dudes, that's what they go for sure. Me, I'm always small, petite, like whatever. And some dudes like a huge ass. That's
a lot of people like petite girls as well. It kind of goes both ways. My personal thing, I like the natural ones though, the ones where you can have in between. Well, you don't have to have both huge as fuck. You can have just one. You can be working on it. You could be something that is growing to something bigger. There's ways to help them make it get bigger, if you know what I mean. So we ain't gotta go for the super BBLs, face, lips, and all that kind of shit because a lot of times that shit turns out crazy. And you know the personalities of those women. We see them on TV all the time. We see them on Basketball Wives. We see them on Love and Hip Hop and all that fuck shit. And I don't know if everybody's ready to get into that. So get yourself a normal person. Get you somebody that you feel like you can get. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to reach for the stars all the time and not expect the moon and the stars, especially ladies too. You ain't got to expect to do with the 9-10-inch hog. If the person is out there doing for you and if you feel like they could do stuff for you, as long as I heard, like you said, it's not the centimeter Peter, I think we can, you can meet in the middle. You feel me?
No, and like, I feel like for me personally, the whole reason I'm like, is more so because I've had situations where it hasn't, this is terrible, where it hasn't been what you would even consider average, but they have good personality or whatever situation may be. then I just realized like it's not necessarily for me. And that sounds really shallow, but I mean, it is what it is. Like,
It is. I mean, you're making a decision if to be with this person to have sex a lot. If it's not interesting or good to you, you don't
enjoyable.
want. Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah, I feel that. Nip that in the bud before it gets too you know. Okay, that goes right into our next question: sexual turn-offs and turn-ons. What we got?
Ooh, turn-ons for me. We're talking about sexual turn-ons or like turn-ons in general.
Hey, this was your topic. We got sexual turn-ons.
Sexual turn-ons in general, I feel like is somebody that is confident in themselves, somebody that can, I mean, at least for me, somebody that can take control of the situation. I'm not trying to dominate every sexual experience or be the one to push you to do something sexually or whatever because you're not into something like that. And like I said, a lot of people aren't into the same thing. A lot of people aren't necessarily like into one thing or another, but there has to be some type of balance for me. And if you're just like super sensitive, I would say in a nice way, it's not for me.
Yeah.
So that's a huge turn off for me. A huge turn off sexually too is like one, I can't stand somebody that's extremely quiet in bed. That's real awkward and real weird. And then it,
Yeah.
But also, I don't want somebody that's screaming like me because then that's an issue too. You know what I
That
mean?
is
Like
weird.
you're
Very
screaming at
weird.
the top of your lungs. Like,
Yeah.
how about you?
Me, I didn't think you were gonna ask me. Shoot. Me personally,
Yeah,
shit, I guess I would say sexual turn off smells. If somebody kind of smells in bed,
okay.
that's definitely a sexual turn off. Somebody who is like a really rough, man. I don't like people to beat me up or knee me in the face or slap me in the face or be choked. It's a lot of shit for me. I get a little scared because I'm a big guy, I'm heavy-handed. And a lot of this shit that, girls would want nowadays is it's a little rough for me. I'm a little more submissive when it comes to the kind of shit. And, I like to lay back and just see what's going on, be instructed in a way, but at the same time, do stuff that I enjoy rather than stuff that's hard for me. Because again, I'm a sweater. And I know exactly what'll make me sweat and drench up in not a good way. Um, what else we got?
So what you mean not you like rougher? What is considered rougher for you then?
Rough for me is like fucking, I don't know, just I don't know. I've in my personal life have been beat up before in bed, which is kind of crazy to me, and I feel like that is not a good thing. Back in my early college days, I dated this girl, not dated, kind of just talked. We'll get into that in a second. Talked to this girl who just fucking was crazy. And I didn't really enjoy it that much. And it got kind of crazy when they was like, "Oh, choke me." I'm like, "Nah, nah, 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 nah. I can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah,
Hit me."
you a big boy, so
Yeah,
I feel like bigger dudes do get weirded out by it, especially if somebody's smaller.
yeah. Everybody's gonna
Um,
be smaller than me. God damn it.
yeah, you a big boy. Like realistically, like a lot of grabbing and things like that. I'm definitely not against it. I'm a very small person in
Mm.
general, so that can't scare people that I'm not made of glass. But
Uh,
I don't need you to treat me like a porcelain doll either, kind of situation, I guess.
Right. Yeah, tie-ups and whips and shit like that. If you got those kind of fetishes, I don't know, man. I'm more of a regular, traditional kind of guy. I can do what I need to do and get it done and have us both pleasured, and then we'll be good without having to do all the experimental shit that you saw in some porno or some shit on TV that
You saw 50 Shades of Grey or some shit like that.
yeah, I
But
don't know. I don't know. Fucking hot wax and scratches that go and leave your name and shit like
no,
that. Let's be a little normal with it. You feel me?
yeah, I agree. Like the whole hot wax or anything like that, like I'm not with it. Um, I'm very uncomfy. If somebody tries to tie me up, I'm uncomfortable because
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
breathe, I'm scared.
Yep, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you could kill me for all I know. I watch a lot of crime TV and stuff. No, thank
Oh yeah,
you.
oh yeah, for sure. And that's the easy way. Tie them up. Steal what they got. Rob them. People getting robbed in Vegas like that right now. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's me personally in a nutshell. I don't, I'm not too different. I'm more of a listener and I just kind of go with the flow. And that usually works out for me. I mean, again, I'm in relationships for a long time, so I guess I'm able to
You're
do what I
doing
need
something.
to do. Exactly. At least from my eyes, I think I am. This one, I don't know why this topic is last, but talking versus dating, what is the difference to you?
Talking versus dating, I would say like talking is more so like you're just getting to know somebody. You both may still be seeing other people, entertaining other situations, stuff like that. I feel like dating is more so that step before you're in a relationship where it's just you and that person. You're figuring out if this is something that you want for a longer, extended amount of time. But I really don't like the idea nowadays in general of the talking or the dating or whatever, because
Right.
I feel like it gives not just men but women the room, I guess, to do some fuck shit realistically, and then be like, well, we're just talking, we're just dating, so what's that matter? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's foul.
Yeah,
So
I've never really gotten into it like that. If we're talking, it's pretty much like I feel like we're working up to the dating stage and getting ready to get together eventually. I feel like the talking stage shouldn't be forever. If somebody's stuck in a talking stage and is not looking to start dating or just get serious about it, I feel like that's somebody that just wants to do their own thing and talk to you back like when it's convenient. And that's when that brings up the old days for me when I was in college and shit. Like when you're trying to holler at somebody on Instagram and they only hit you back sometimes it's because they doing their own thing. I feel it. But if you're talking to somebody, I'm trying to have this conversation, build up to what things could be, and not be another guy in a situation. I actually want to be the person that you're talking to and thinking about dating. And I think dating is where the relationship should start. I mean, I don't want to go from talking to dating and into a relationship. I want to see if the talking can turn into dating. The dating should be like 2 weeks, and then after the 2 weeks to a month, we together. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
I feel like at a certain point, if all you're doing is still talking or still dating, to a certain extent, you're down there just a fuck buddy at that point, especially if things are physical. And at that point, it's kind of when you got to cut your losses. Like, I don't believe that a talking or a dating stage should last like 6 months to a year, because then
Right.
you're just stuck in limbo for 6 months to a year. You're like, oh, I'm dating this person. Like, what you mean you're dating this person? Are you with the person or are you not with the person?
Exactly.
Because it leaves all this gray area, which for me, I feel like causes so much more drama than is necessary.
Exactly. Because
Again, you don't need to rush anything. Like, you don't
Mhm.
need to be like, shit, we met up once, twice, kicked it for like a week, started fucking around, and all of a sudden we're together. But I
Right.
feel like to a certain extent, if you've been just dating or talking for a long, extended amount of time, it's lightweight a waste of your time and the other person's. And
Right.
that's when you gotta cut your losses and keep it pushing.
Absolutely. 6 months to a year. That's a lot of time for the person to decide what they want, especially when both sides are kind of making sacrifices to talk to this person, taking time away from people they may be talking to or had interest in the past, and they're cutting them off to talk to you. But the other person's unsure. It's like that's not a good balance. And I feel like nowadays in dating, that's how it is. Everything is online, everything's social. People like keep their options open. People date so fast. It's no more getting to know somebody, sitting down, having dinner to actually try to get involved with somebody. Now it's just like, what does that profile say? What does this person look like? Let's see how the conversation goes. I'm still going to date other people, but I'm going to talk to this person so I seem cool and not be embarrassed by being single. It's just a lot of shit that goes into it. And talking is not always my favorite. Not always my favorite at all.
Neither. I feel like the talking stage is very uncomfortable for me. I've been very much like relationship type for a long time. So like the talking situation, I feel like it just leaves so much gray area to have you be wondering about a situation. Ends up when the talking or dating stage is too long, it ends up making that other person very insecure,
Right.
because you're like, okay, so obviously you like me enough to sleep with me and to spend time with me, but you don't like me enough to make me your girlfriend or whatever. And if that's the case, then it's kind of checking up as a loss and just moving with it. But I also don't agree with like, I met you once and met you twice and all of a sudden I'm gonna tell everybody we're dating. Like,
Oh,
that's
hell
not.
no. Yeah, that's definitely not a thing there. We gotta see where this goes first before we can actually make anything about us talk in public. Because me personally, my dating life is kind of sacred to me. I like it to people, to be my business. I ain't trying to have everybody all in my business, because that's how social media works nowadays. Everybody putting everything on blast, and everybody knows everything about your relationship and how shit's going. And then when shit gets off the Instagram, it's like, oh, this person broke up. Let me try to go holler at this person type shit. And it's a messy situation. So I like everything to be on the up and up, everything to be understood between the person I'm trying to talk to, trying to date, rather than being strung along like that.
Yeah, like communication is definitely key. Definitely key. I think that in general, going public with this situation is a huge step. And I feel like once you're in that huge step where you're going public with somebody, yeah, everybody's in your business. You could post a funny meme or something like that, and everybody automatically assumes that
y'all break up. Y'all
broke up. What's up? Let me hop in them DMs real quick.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, I feel like the thing that I find is the grossest is DMs are just so nasty to me. Like sliding in my DMs to get to know me just because you saw a couple pictures of me on Instagram, like on a good day, that's gross to me. If I prefer to meet people with zero makeup on, my basketball shorts, you know what I mean, my hair tied up and stuff like that. So there were zero expectations in a situation. And I'm very much go off the vibes. Like if the vibes are good and we're rocking and we continue to push the situation or whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, now dating is very messy.
Shit, definitely is. That's why I'm happy I'm not in that world anymore. That's why I'm coming to you, excuse me, our relative relationship expert, to get all the advice out. Let all these guys know to step up your goddamn game. You know what I'm saying? Get it together. You know what the ladies are looking for now. We tried to give you guys some game real quick. Relationship episode, no cinema corner. You know what I'm saying? Got right to the nitty gritty. Yeah, and go Nuggets. You already know what's going on. NBA Finals. You don't think I forgot about that shit? You know what I'm saying? We back up top with it. Let's go Nikola Jokic. Let's go Jamal Murray. Should I say everybody's names again? I ain't gonna say it, but you already know what it is. It's Nuggets 2023-2024 championships, you bitch. Anyways, we made it to the end of the podcast where I like to let them know where they can find you at. Miss Shuck, where can they find you at?
I am Chelsea Tiara on every social media platform. So that's where I'm at.
My bad. That's where I'll call you from now on. I didn't mean to give out your government like that.
No, you good. Chelsea Tiara on everything is where we're at. Last name or not, I got nothing to hide, so I'm all good to go.
Hey, there we go. You know where to find your boy at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat. Anywhere you're looking for the Best of Bias podcast, just type that shit into your URL and it's just going to pop up. You'll see the YouTube, you see the website, you see all the shit. You'll see the merch. I got hella merch here that y'all need to start buying, you feel me? I got the bucket hats all day. I got the beanies all day. I got the motherfucking trucker hats all day. All of it. All of it's here. So come get it. It's your boy. Best of Bias podcast merch. We more than a podcast. We merch gang, merch gang, merch gang. And we got new hats coming as well. Got new patches to put on them, new logos to put on them. So it's a lot of stuff coming. Been working on a website. Still haven't got it up for you guys to purchase off there. But if you need anything, hit me up directly on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on the Snapchat, on the Twitter. Wherever you find your boy, wherever you see Growly at, that's where you can get it at. But again, thank you for being here, Chelsea. I appreciate it so much. Great topic work. And we back, man. I'm sorry about last week, but this week we got it back on track. And we doing something special for y'all. So it's the Best of Bias podcast. Like this is the part where I like to say where my theme song at. Any last words?
No, I think we're all good. I'll see you again next time.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Have you on real soon. And we out of here. It's the Best of Bias podcast where that theme song at. Yeah.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
You are now listening to the Best of Bias podcast.